You're going to the Blackmere pack.
Ife looked up from her cereal. Her father sat across the kitchen table, both hands around his coffee mug, not drinking. The morning light was ordinary. The refrigerator hummed. Somewhere in the house, a clock ticked. "For what?" she asked. "To stay." "How long?" "Permanently." The word landed between them like a dropped glass. Her wolf, the low, constant presence beneath her ribs, lifted her head. Not at the word, at her father's scent. The sandalwood was there, familiar, comforting, but underneath, something bitter, like ash mixed into soil. Her wolf had been catching that bitterness for weeks. Ife had been ignoring it. "Dad, it's been arranged. You leave this afternoon." "Dad, look at me." He didn't. "Why?" "The pack needs the territory access. Blackmere controls the eastern corridor. Without it, we're boxed in. You're trading me. I'm securing our future by selling your daughter to a stranger." "He's not a stranger. He's the alpha of—" "Which alpha?" Silence. Then, Caine. Her wolf did something strange. At the name, the animal inside her didn't flinch, didn't growl in fear. She went still, completely, utterly still, and then pressed forward with something that felt less like warning and more like recognition. "That name," her wolf whispered. "Say it again. I've shoved her down." "You're sending me to Caine, the man who put 3 of his own warriors in the hospital, the man who— Everything you've heard is rumor. Is it a rumor that he went feral for 3 days after his sister died? Is it a rumor that nobody enters his territory voluntarily? This is what the pack needs, Ife. What about what I need?" He finally looked at her, and she saw it. The thing she'd been afraid to see. Not guilt, not sorrow, calculation. His eyes were doing math, and she was the variable being solved. "You're strong," he said. "You'll survive." She stood so fast the chair cracked against the wall. "I'm your daughter. And I'm the alpha of this pack. Sometimes those two things can't coexist." She stared at him, waiting for the crack, the apology. He gave her nothing. Coffee, clock, the bitter scent underneath the sandalwood growing stronger. Her wolf pressed against her ribs, not toward her father, away from him, toward the door, toward whatever was coming next. "He smells wrong," her wolf said quietly. He's smelled wrong for months. The car was already outside. Black SUV, 2-hour drive through dense forest. Ife's phone showed one text from her father, sent after she left. "I'll make this right. Trust me." She stared at it. Her wolf growled, low, continuous, aimed at the screen. "Shut up," Ife muttered. The Blackmere compound emerged from the trees, concrete walls, security cameras, a gate that opened with mechanical precision. Inside, modern buildings, dark wood and steel, not a home, a fortress. The SUV stopped. She stepped out, locked her knees to stop her legs from shaking. Wolves watched from doorways. Their scents hit her in a wave. Dozens of unfamiliar wolves, their emotions layered into the air. Wariness, curiosity, and underneath from all of them, a low, constant undercurrent of fear. Not of her. Of something in this compound they all lived with. A woman approached. 40s, efficient, the beta. "Lyra, follow me. The alpha will meet you in the main house." "Does the alpha know I'm not here voluntarily?" "The alpha knows everything he needs to know." The main house was sparse, clean, no photographs on any wall, a building where someone existed but didn't live. Lyra knocked on a door, opened it. Dim office, heavy curtains, a glass of something dark on the desk. He was standing at the window with his back to her. She saw his hands first, massive, scarred across every knuckle hanging at his sides, and they were shaking. A fine tremor running through his fingers like an electrical current he couldn't shut off. Then his scent hit her. It slammed into her like a wall, dark, heavy, forge smoke and wet earth after rain. And underneath, old blood. The scent of a man who carried violence in his skin the way other people carried cologne. Her wolf didn't recoil. Her wolf rose up on her legs and inhaled. "Oh," her wolf breathed. Oh no. He turned. Deep ebony skin that absorbed the dim light. He was almost a shadow with eyes. A heavy jaw clenched so tight the muscle was visible. Shaved head. A vertical scar splitting his left eyebrow, pulling through the eyelid to his cheekbone. The eye worked, but the scar told a story nobody was allowed to hear. Dead, flat, brown eyes. Nothing in them. A man who'd vacated his own face. Then those eyes landed on her. Gold. For 1 second, 1 heartbeat, his eyes flashed molten gold. The wolf inside him surging forward to see her. His pupils dilated. His hands stopped shaking. His body went rigid, every muscle locking simultaneously. Then the gold was gone. Human brown returned. The tremor resumed. He sealed it away with a jaw clench that could crack stone. But she'd seen it, and she'd felt the answering slam against her own ribs, her wolf throwing herself forward with a force that buckled her knees. Mate! Her wolf howled. Mate! His scent! Forge, smoke, and earth! He's ours! No! No, 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 no! The bond hit like electricity. Heat flooded her chest. Her skin prickled, every hair standing. Her vision sharpened until she could see the individual threads of his shirt, the pulse hammering at his throat. And her canines ached. A deep, bone-level throb that concentrated when she looked at his neck. At the junction where neck met shoulder, the mark spot. She didn't understand the ache. Her wolf did. "You're Ife," he said. His voice was low, rough, rusted. "And you're the man my father traded me to." She lifted her chin, made her voice loud. Loud girls don't get ignored. "Let's skip the pleasantries." Something shifted in his face, not the gold again. Something more human, surprise. Nobody talked to him like that. She could tell from the way the air in the room changed. Behind her, she heard Lyra inhale sharply. His jaw tightened. The dead flatness refilled his eyes. "Lyra will show you to your room." His voice went mechanical. "Don't go past the east wing. Don't go into the forest. Don't touch anything in my office." "What happens if I do?" His dead eyes held hers. "You won't like finding out." He turned back to the window. As he gripped the window frame, she saw his nails, thickened, darkened. Not quite claws, not quite human. A partial shift he didn't seem aware of, his wolf pressing through his fingertips. She turned and walked out before her own wolf could do something she'd regret. In the hallway, her heart was hammering in her teeth. Her canines still ached. His scent clung to her clothes like smoke from a fire she'd walked too close to. "Go back," her wolf demanded. "Go back to him." "Not a chance," Ife whispered. "You felt it. You know what he is. I know what my father did. I know I'm stuck here, and I know I'm not bonding with a man who looks at me like I'm furniture." Her wolf went quiet. But the quiet wasn't agreement. It was patience. The kind of patience a predator has when it knows the prey will eventually stop running. Evening. They found the kitchen despite being told to stay in her room. An older woman was cooking. Silver-streaked natural hair, strong face lined with years and grief, caramel skin warm under the kitchen light. "You must be hungry," the woman said without turning. "Sit." "I'm not." "Your stomach growled twice since you walked in." "Sit." Ife sat. The woman placed food in front of her. Simple, warm. "I'm Miriam." "Ife, I know who you are." Miriam sat across from her. "I also know why you're here, and I think you should know what you've walked into." "I know what he is." "No, you know what people say. I'm going to tell you what I've seen." Miriam folded her hands. Before Adina died, Caine was a good alpha. Steady. His sister was the heart of this pack. She laughed at everything, made everyone feel seen. 2 years ago, an ambush. Adina was killed. Caine was supposed to protect her. What happened after? Miriam was quiet for a moment. He shifted, stayed in wolf form for 3 days, ran until his paws bled. The patrol found blood trails for miles. When he finally came back, when he finally shifted to human. She paused. The man who came back was not the man who went in. He destroyed his office with his bare hands, claws out, full partial shift, put 3 warriors in the infirmary for mentioning her name. The wall outside her room still has the claw marks. He doesn't sleep, doesn't eat properly, runs this pack like a machine because the machine doesn't require him to feel. Why are you telling me this? Because you're young, and because... Miriam hesitated. He can be gentle, when the wolf is quiet and the grief steps back. The gentleness comes through and it's devastating. The question is whether those moments are enough to survive the rest. Silence. Eve's food was untouched. He loved someone once, Miriam said softly. She died. And the man who came back is not the man who went in. I'm not telling you to leave, I'm telling you to be careful what you reach for in the dark. Ife lay in bed that night. Her phone showed her father's text. She typed, "Come get me." 3 dots appeared, disappeared. No response. She stared at the screen until it dimmed. Her face reflected back, dark eyes in a dark room, her wolf pressed against her ribs, not toward the phone, toward the hallway, toward the forge smoke scent that still lingered everywhere. "He's 3 rooms away," her wolf said. "I can hear his heartbeat. He's not sleeping either." "Stop it." "He's not sleeping because he can smell us too." Ife pulled the pillow over her head. It didn't help. She could still feel the bond, a low electric hum beneath her skin, pulsing in time with a heartbeat that wasn't hers. 3 days. Ife had been loud, defiant, and impossible, argued with Lyra, eaten at wrong times, walked past the East Wing line twice. 2 a.m. couldn't sleep. The bond was a constant thrum now, getting louder each day like a radio dial someone kept turning up. She walked the corridors, found a door ajar in the East Wing, light spilling through. She pushed it open. A bedroom, untouched, preserved. A young woman's room, posters, books, a hoodie on a chair, dust on everything. The room of someone who would never come back. His scent was in here, layered over Adina's fading scent like a man who came and sat in this room at night and breathed in whatever was left of his sister. "Get out!" She spun. Caine filled the corridor, his body rigid, his hands shaking, visible this time, not the fine tremor. His eyes were alive for the first time since she'd arrived, and what was in them was grief wearing the mask of rage. "I said get out. I didn't know. You were told not to go past the East Wing." His voice climbed. "Building. You walked into her room like it's nothing. She's not nothing to me. I didn't know whose... Everyone knows whose room it is." He slammed his palm against the wall. The sound cracked through the corridor, and his hand shifted. Nails thickened, darkened. I lengthened into black claws that scored 4 deep lines through the plaster. He stared at them, his breathing ragged. He forced the claws back, fingers shortening, nails paling, human again. The plaster stayed gouged. His eyes had gone gold, full burning gold. The wolf was right there, right behind his face, looking through his eyes with a grief that was more animal than human. If didn't flinch. She looked at the claw marks, at his shaking hands, at the gold eyes that were fighting to return to brown. "I'm sorry," she said. Quiet. The quietest she'd been since arriving. He stared at her. The gold flickered. Nobody apologized to him. "I had a room like this," she said. "My mother's. After she died, I sat in it every night and smelled her pillows until the scent faded." Her voice dropped. "I understand why you keep the door closed." Silence. The corridor. Dust in the air. His hand was still on the wall where he'd struck it, trembling. She reached out, put her hand over his. On the wall, skin on skin, the bond detonated. Her palm touched his knuckles and gravity shifted. She felt the floor tilt, physically tilt, her body reorienting toward him like a compass needle swinging. Her wolf surged forward so hard her vision doubled. His scent flooded her, forge smoke and earth, and underneath it she felt something she'd never felt before. His wolf. Through the contact, through the bond, through the skin, she could feel the animal inside him, pressing against his ribs the way hers pressed against hers. 2 wolves separated by 2 layers of human skin, reaching for each other. A sound came from his chest. Low. Involuntary. A rumble that wasn't human, the wolf recognizing its mate through touch. He yanked his hand back, stepped away. His eyes were wide, full gold, blazing, and what was in them wasn't anger. Terror. "Don't," he said. "Don't touch me." "Why?" He stared at his hand, the hand that had stopped shaking the instant she touched it. The tremor was gone, and its absence terrified him more than its presence ever had. He walked away. Fast. Down the corridor. Her wolf howled inside her chest, a sound of frustrated, furious certainty. He ran because the shaking stopped, her wolf snarled. He ran because we made him feel safe and he doesn't know what to do with safe. I've pressed her back against the wall. Her hand was still warm where his skin had been. Days passed. Ife demanded to train with the pack. If I'm stuck here, I'm not sitting around. Caine allowed it. The regular trainer ran sessions, but today the trainer was gone. Caine stepped into the yard, black tank top, training pants, his build fully visible, the breadth of his shoulders, the thick arms, the scarred hands wrapping in tape, deep ebony skin catching the morning sun. He moved differently here, less volatile, controlled. This was the one thing he could master. "Spar with me," he said. "No." "You wanted to train. I'm available." "I'll wait for the regular trainer." "He's not coming." His dead flat eyes fixed on her. "Don't make me give it as an order." They sparred. She was fast. Years of fighting brothers, pack wolves, anyone who underestimated her size. Good instincts, quick feet. Caine was on another level, not faster, more. His body anticipated hers. He moved before she moved, read her shifts before they happened. The mate bond giving him a map of her body she hadn't consented to share. He blocked, redirected, closed distance. She threw a right cross. He caught her wrist, pulled, swept her legs. She hit the mat. He pinned her, forearm across her collarbone, body over hers, their faces 6 inches apart. His eyes were gold, not flickering, sustained. The wolf, fully present, looking down at her through his eyes. His breathing was rough. A growl rolled from his chest, low, deep, involuntary, not threatening, possessive, the sound of a wolf standing over something it would kill to keep. He didn't seem aware he was making it. She could feel his heartbeat through the contact, his chest against hers, the slam of it, and underneath the human heartbeat, something else, a second rhythm, deeper, slower, his wolf's heartbeat. She could feel it through the bond, 2 hearts in one body, both hammering, both oriented toward her. "You dropped your left shoulder," he said. His voice was rough. "Get off me. You telegraph every right cross. Drop the shoulder before... Get off me!" He didn't move. 6 inches. Gold eyes. The growl still rumbling beneath his words. His scent was everywhere, forge smoke and earth flooding her, so thick she could taste it. Her canines throbbed. The ache was worse at this distance, a deep, visceral pull centered on his neck, on the mark spot, the skin where her teeth wanted to be. "Don't move." The words dropped from his mouth in a different register. Deeper. Layered, his voice and his wolf's. A harmonic that bypassed her brain and went straight to her spine. Alpha command. Her wolf hit the ground inside her chest, belly flat, ears back, every instinct screaming submit, her muscles locked. Her body obeyed before her mind could decide. She hated it. Her jaw clenched. She pushed, against the command, against the invisible weight pressing her flat. Her muscles screamed. Her wolf whined. She pushed harder. She sat up, shoved him off. His eyes widened. The gold flickered. Nobody resisted a direct alpha command. Nobody. "Don't ever do that to me again," she said. Her voice was shaking, but her body was upright. "I am not your wolf to command." Something moved across his face. Not anger, recognition, like he was seeing her for the first time. "Your father isn't coming for you, Ife." The words hit like ice water. "You don't know that. I know men like him. I know the deal he made." His voice dropped, almost gentle, which was worse. "He's not coming." She stood, walked off the mat. Her legs shook. Not from the sparring, from the 6 inches and his heartbeat against hers and the growl and the gold eyes and the 4 words she couldn't stop hearing. "He's right," her wolf said. "You know he's right." "Shut up." Night. Her room. She called her father. 6 rings. He picked up. "How's my girl?" The warmth in his voice made her eyes burn. "I want to come home." "Soon. These things take time." A pause. "How's the compound? How many wolves?" "I don't know. A lot." "Rough number?" "Maybe 200? Why?" "Just curious about your life, sweetheart. What's the security like? Armed?" "Some. Mostly they rely on patrols." "Has Caine mentioned the Eastern Ridge expansion?" She paused. "What?" "The Eastern Ridge. There's been talk Blackmere is expanding. Has he mentioned it?" Her wolf was growling. Low. Continuous. Aimed at the phone. "Why would he mention pack strategy to me?" "You're living there, Ife. You hear things." Something cold slid up her spine, but she pushed it down. He was her father. He loved her. "I don't spy on people, Dad." "I'm not asking you to spy." His voice warmed further. "I'm asking you to keep your eyes open. For me, for your pack, for us." She told him about the Eastern Corridor, something she'd overheard at dinner. His scent lingered in her memory, sandalwood and bitter ash, the bitterness stronger every time she thought of him. After they hung up, she sat on her bed. Her wolf was still growling. "His scent has been wrong for months," her wolf said. "You know what wrong scent means? Deception. He's deceiving. He's my father. He smells like lies and ash, and you keep putting the phone under your pillow like it's going to keep you warm. He is 3 rooms away. His heartbeat is the thing keeping you warm. When are you going to stop lying to yourself?" If shoved the phone under her pillow and pressed her face into the mattress. Her wolf didn't stop growling. She never stopped. 2 weeks in, I found a maintenance tunnel behind the east wing, a gap in the security perimeter, exiting beyond the compound fence. She could leave. Right now. She stood at the tunnel entrance, bag in hand. Her phone buzzed. Her father, "I'm working on it. Stay close to the Alpha. Trust me." Stay close to the Alpha. Not "I miss you." Not "I love you." Stay close to the Alpha. She looked at the compound behind her, the kitchen where Miriam cooked, the training yard where he pinned her and his wolf growled and her canines ached, the corridor where his hand stopped shaking under hers, the meals he'd started leaving outside her door, no note, no acknowledgement, food appearing at exactly the time she got hungry because he'd memorized her schedule without her knowing. She typed a message to her father. The tunnel location, the security gap, the vulnerability. Her thumb hovered over send. She deleted it, but she didn't tell Caine about the tunnel either. She kept the exit, just in case. That night she went to the compound garden, overgrown, neglected. The full moon was 2 days away and she could feel it, a hum beneath her skin. Her wolf pressing closer to the surface with every hour. Her senses were sharper, her temper shorter. The bond was screaming. Caine was there, sitting on the ground, back against a tree, head tilted back, shirtless, because the moon made his skin too hot, made the wolf too close to the surface, made clothing feel like a cage. Moonlight carved the muscle across his chest and shoulders in silver and shadow. His deep ebony skin absorbed the darkness and reflected the light in the same breath. She sat 3 feet away, both looking up. The moonlight hit her and her wolf surged, stronger than any night since she'd arrived. The full moon pulling the animal forward. Her vision sharpened. His scent intensified, the forge smoke thickening, the earth deepening, something new underneath. Warm. Almost sweet. Her wolf was drowning in it. "Sit closer," her wolf urged. "Touch his hand. He gave you permission in the corridor. Take it." They talked. About nothing important. About everything that mattered. He asked about her mother. She told him. Her voice went quiet. The real Ife. He told her about Adina. Not much. Her name. That she laughed at everything. That the silence after she was gone was the worst sound he'd ever heard. "Is that why you keep her room?" If I change it, she's really gone. She's already gone, Caine. I know. His voice cracked on the word. A fracture. I know she is. Her hand moved toward his, involuntary, and as it moved, her nails darkened, thickened, claws extending just slightly, the wolf reaching for him through her fingertips. She caught it, pulled her hand back, shoved the claws down, curled her fingers into her hoodie. He saw the reach. He saw the retreat. He saw the claws she thought she'd hidden. You can, he said quietly, if you want. She didn't. Not yet. But her eyes, against every conscious thought, dropped to his neck. The mark spot. Moonlit skin over a pulse she could hear from 3 feet away. He caught her looking, said nothing, but his own pulse quickened. She heard it. They both pretended she didn't. They sat under the full moon, 3 feet apart. The closest either of them had been to peace in years. The next night she couldn't sleep. The full moon was hours away. Her wolf was wild, pacing, snarling, pressing for control with a force Ife hadn't felt in years. She went outside, bare feet on concrete, then grass, then dirt, the compound's edge, the forest just beyond the fence. The moonlight hit her and her wolf didn't ask. The shift came like an explosion. Her bones cracked, shoulders first, then spine, the vertebrae popping in sequence like knuckles. Her skin burned, stretched, reformed. Muscles tore and rebuilt in configurations that weren't human. Her jaw extended. Her fingers shortened. Her vision, already sharp, detonated into silver detail clarity. Every shadow became architecture. She dropped to 4 legs. Black fur rippled in the night air. Her paws hit the forest floor and the world opened. Every scent amplified 100 times. Pine, soil, rain from 2 days ago still trapped in the bark, rabbit trail 6 hours old, deer crossing fresh, and him. His scent was everywhere, on the ground, on the trees, in the air she was breathing. Forge smoke and earth saturating the forest like he'd marked every inch of it. She ran. Through the trees, through the dark, the moon above her and the earth beneath her. She ran because the human had too many thoughts, and the wolf had only one. Run. Be free. Be what you are. She heard him before she saw him. A crash of underbrush, heavy pause, and then, emerging from the darkness, a wolf. Massive, black as midnight, shoulders as high as her human waist. A scar ran through the fur over his left eye. His wolf eyes were gold, pure, unwavering, nothing dead or flat in them. The wolf version of Caine was what the human version was afraid to be, present, certain, alive. He'd shifted to track her, her scent pulling him out of whatever dark room he'd been sitting in, pulling the wolf forward through the man's resistance. They stood in the moonlight, 2 wolves, his massive dark form and her smaller, leaner black shape. He lowered his head. Not submission. Invitation. She stepped closer, touched her nose to his. The bond in wolf form wasn't a hum or a thrum or a scream. It was a roar. Everything the human minds had been fighting, the denial, the fear, the walls, the wolves felt none of it. The wolves knew, had known since the first second, had been howling at their humans to stop fighting and just accept what was obvious. They ran, together, through the forest, through the dark, the moon above them and the earth beneath their paws. Not leader and follower, side by side, matching pace, matching breath. 2 animals who had been alone for too long, remembering what it felt like to move with someone. They ran until dawn cracked the sky. Shifted back near the compound, both breathing hard, both human again, both shattered. Neither spoke. They walked inside separately. Went to their rooms, but everything had changed. The wolves had decided. Now the humans had to catch up. Morning, kitchen, Miriam cooking. Ife walked in and Miriam stopped mid-stir. You smell like him. Ife froze. What? His scent. It's on you. Not surface. Deep. The bond is forming, Ife. Miriam set down the spoon. You ran with him. Last night. In wolf form. How? I've been in this pack for 30 years. I know what a bonding run smells like." Miriam's expression shifted, warning and hope tangled together. "If you're staying because your father is coming for you, don't sit under moons. Don't run with him. Don't let the bond root." "My father is coming. Your father sold you like livestock and hasn't visited once." The words hit like a fist. "You don't know him. I know what he did. And I know you're the only one in this compound who still thinks it was love." Ife left, closed the door quietly, the quiet Ife, the breaking one. A letter arrived, physical mail, her father's handwriting. Her heart leaped so hard her wolf snarled at the reaction. She opened it in her room, warm, loving. He missed her. He was working on bringing her home. Then, "There's been talk of an alliance between Blackmere and the Ironwood Pack. If you hear anything at all, send word through the usual channel. This information could speed everything up." The usual channel. He'd set up a channel. The texts, the calls, the questions she answered because he was her father asking about her life. "If you hear anything, send word." She read the sentence again. Again. The paper trembled in her hands. She'd been a spy the whole time. Every question, how many wolves, security details, Eastern Corridor, was intelligence. The deal wasn't territory access. It was placing an asset inside Caine's compound, her. She lifted the letter to her nose. Her father's scent, sandalwood and ash. The bitterness was all she could smell now. It overwhelmed the sandalwood. It was all there was. Her wolf howled, not the fierce, demanding howl, the grief howl, the sound a wolf makes when it loses pack. "I tried to tell you," her wolf whispered. "I've been trying for months." His scent changed. Deception has a smell, and you wouldn't listen. If sat on the floor, the letter in her lap, Caine's voice in her memory. "Your father isn't coming for you." He knew. Before she did. She cried. Not the loud, performative emotion she weaponized. Silent crying. The kind that has no audience and no performance. The kind that comes when the last lie you told yourself cracks open and everything inside pours out. In the corridor, Caine stopped. He heard the silence. Ife was never silent. Her silence was wrong. He put his hand on her door. Didn't knock. Stood with his palm flat on the wood. His wolf pressed forward, not toward the door, through it, reaching for the woman on the other side through wood and bond and the certainty that she was in pain and every cell in his body was engineered to fix it. His hand on the door trembled, then stopped, because her proximity, even through a closed door, quieted the tremor. He didn't understand it, didn't trust it, couldn't walk away from it. He stayed until the silence turned to sleep, then left a meal outside the door. No note. Like always. Morning. Ife walked into his office, didn't knock, put the letter on his desk. "Did you know?" He read it. His expression didn't change. "You knew my father was using me." "I suspected." "From when?" "The beginning. His scent was on the deal paperwork. The bitterness, the deception marker. It was there from the first document." "You can smell deception on paper?" "I can smell everything, Ife." His voice was flat, including the fact that you've been feeding him information. Her stomach dropped. "The Eastern Corridor was false. I planted it. Every piece of intelligence you passed to him went through me first." He paused. "I've been feeding your father bad information through you for 2 weeks." She stared. "You used me, too. I protected my pack. By using me. By letting you stay." His voice rose, the volatility surfacing. He stood. His hands were shaking, hard now, the tremor visible. "I could have thrown you out, sent you back to a man who sold you. Instead, I let you stay and I let you train and I left food at your door and I—" He stopped, looked at his shaking hands. His jaw worked. "And you what? You know why. Say it. Because you make the shaking stop." It erupted from him, raw, uncontrolled. His eyes went gold and stayed, not flickering, sustained, the wolf fully present, speaking through the man. "Every time you're near me, the tremor stops. My hands go still. My chest goes quiet. 2 years of shaking and you walk into a room and it stops and I don't know how to... His hands slammed the desk. His nails thickened, claws extending black against the dark wood, scoring deep grooves as they dragged. He stared at them, didn't retract them. You were supposed to be a political arrangement, a stranger I tolerated. You were not supposed to sit in the dirt and tell me my dead sister is really gone and then reach for my hand and then not take it. I was afraid. Of me? Of how much I wanted to take it. Silence. His desk between them. The letter, her father's betrayal, sitting on the scored wood. You should be afraid of me, he said. Quieter, the gold still burning. Miriam told you what I've done. Miriam told me what grief did to you. There's no difference. There's every difference. She walked around the desk. He backed up, one step, hitting the wall. The most feared alpha alive, backed against a wall by a woman 6 inches shorter with tears on her face. She took both of his hands. The claws were still out, black, curved, deadly. She held them anyway. Her fingers wrapped around his, the claw tips resting against her wrists. The tremor died. His fingers curled around hers. The claws retracted, slowly, gently, the nails shrinking back to human as if her touch was the command his wolf obeyed. I'm not your sister, she said. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to leave. And I am done fighting you because my father told me you were a monster. Her canines extended. She felt them, sharp points pressing against her lower lip. The ache that had been building for weeks concentrated into certainty. Her eyes dropped to his neck, the mark spot, his pulse hammering beneath the skin. My father is a liar, she said. And you... Her voice cracked. You left food at my door every day for 3 weeks and never once asked for anything back. She pulled his hands up, impressed his scarred palms against her face. You're not a monster, she whispered. You're a man who lost someone and forgot he's still allowed to love. He kissed her. Not gentle, not controlled. The kiss of a man who'd held himself at arm's length from everything alive for 2 years and had just been given permission to stop. Both of their eyes were gold. She could feel it. The heat in her own irises, the shift in her vision. His wolf and her wolf, looking at each other through human faces, recognizing what the humans had taken weeks to accept. Her mouth gravitated toward his neck, the mark spot. Her canines throbbed. She caught herself, pulled back. Not yet, but the desire was there. And he felt it through the bond, felt her canines ache, felt the pull. His hand went to the back of her neck, held her there. Not pushing, not pulling, holding, like he'd already said yes. The bond, he said, his forehead against hers, since the first second. Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you? He almost laughed, broken and beautiful. I was afraid you'd run. I almost did. There's a maintenance tunnel behind the east wing. I know about the tunnel, Ife. Of course you do. They sat on the floor of his office, her head on his shoulder, his arm around her, the torn letter between them on the carpet. The people your father sells information to, Caine said. The Ironwood Alpha. His network funded the ambush that killed Adina. Ife went still. My father's intelligence got your sister killed? The information chain connects. It's not direct, but the web is the same web. Silence. I'm sorry, she whispered. Oh, you didn't do it. I still fed him information. False information, I made sure. His arm tightened. You were protecting the people you loved. That's not a crime. Misplaced loyalty. The best kind usually is. She reached for the letter, picked it up, read the line again. Send word through the usual channel. What do you want to do? He asked. She tore it. In half, in quarters. The pieces fell to the carpet. I want to stop waiting for someone who was never coming. As the pieces settled, she felt something shift, not the bond, something larger, a flood of sensation, emotions that weren't hers washing over her like a wave, wariness, curiosity, hope, 200 wolves, their feelings rushing through a channel that had just opened. The pack bond, forming, connecting her to every wolf in Blackmere. She gasped. I grabbed his arm. I can feel them, she breathed. All of them. Caine looked at her, and for the first time since she'd known him, the first time since the gold eyes and the dead flat and the shaking hands, he smiled. The full mouth softened. His face changed entirely, younger, almost gentle, almost the man Miriam described from before. The Luna Bond, he said. You're feeling the pack. Is it always this loud? It gets quieter. You learn to filter. How? I'll teach you. Morning. 2 weeks later. The only time skip. Faye stood in the training yard. She lived here now. The pack had accepted her, slowly, the way wolves accept anything new. She trained with them, ate with them. Her voice was still loud, but real now, not armor. The full moon had passed, and the next. The bond had settled into something she could carry, not the screaming desperation of the first weeks. A steady warmth, a second heartbeat alongside hers. His wolf and her wolf, curled together inside a shared space that didn't need words. Caine watched from the doorway. She always knew when he was there. The bond, the scent, the way her wolf settled like a cat in sunlight when he was near. Staring again, she called without turning. Can't help it. Creepy. Noted. She turned, walked to him, reached for his hand. His fingers closed around hers, steady, no tremor. His eyes were brown, warm, human. The gold only surfaced now in moments of intensity, when she was threatened, when they argued, when she looked at his neck too long and they both pretended she wasn't thinking about the mark. Miriam made breakfast, she said. Miriam always makes breakfast. She likes me better than you. Everyone likes you better. It's very annoying. That's because I'm likable and you're terrifying. Working on it. Don't work too hard. I kind of like the terrifying. His mouth twitched. Getting there. They walked toward the main house, her hand in his, both steady. Her phone was still under her pillow. She hadn't deleted her father's number. She couldn't. Maybe never would. The sandalwood was a scent she'd loved her entire life. The ash underneath it didn't erase the sandalwood. It just made it complicated. Forgiveness and grief are not the same thing. She was working on both. The ironwood web was still there. Lyra was building the case. The people who killed Adina were connected to the people her father served. The web was larger than love, larger than both of them. It would come for them eventually. And in moments when she left the room, when she was training, when she was with Miriam, when she was anywhere he couldn't see her, the tremor came back. His hands shook. His eyes flashed gold, the wolf pacing, agitated, counting seconds. She didn't know this. He did. He watched his own hands in her absence and waited for her to return and make them still. The healing wasn't complete. Might never be. But it was beginning. She glanced back at him as they walked, caught the expression on his face, unguarded, raw, the look of a man watching the most terrifying and beautiful thing he's ever held. What? She asked. Nothing. But the corners of his mouth curved, almost a smile, getting there. They told her the most feared alpha alive would destroy her. That she was a sacrifice, a pawn, a girl traded for territory who would disappear inside a compound and never be heard from again. They were right about one thing. The girl who walked through that gate did disappear. But what stood in her place was a woman who stopped waiting to be rescued and started choosing who was worth staying for. And the most feared alpha alive? His hands didn't shake when she was near. For now, that was enough. For now, that was everything. Want more werewolf romance where the dangerous ones turn out to be worth fighting for? Subscribe for new stories every week. Like this video if you believe love shows up in places you'd never expect. And tell me in the comments, would you have stayed or would you have gone through that tunnel?